हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class. We are discussing the Sararth Varshani Tika, and that is the commentary by Vishwanath Thakur, and the sub commentary by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which is called as the Rasika Ranjana Tika. So, we have now halfway through the Bhagavad Gita. We have finished 9 chapters. We saw how uh, Raj Guhya Yoga, the most confidential knowledge is given in the 9th chapter. That knowledge which will lead to Kevala Bhakti, and Krishna gives that confidential knowledge in 9.4 to 9.10. Understanding this knowledge, those who understand, they are the Kevala Bhaktas, they practice Kevala Bhakti. Those who understand in another way, opposite, one other extreme, are the impersonalist, Moga Asha, Moga Karmano. They think that Krishna's body is material. And they're the in between, the 3 types, Angrupasana, Pratikupasana, and Vishwarupasana. And among these 3 types, 16 to 19 describe the Vishwarupa Upasana. And the Pratikupasana, 2 verses describe 20 and 21. And then Krishna, mentions the superiority of Kevala Bhakti to these Pratik Upasakas or Pratik Upasakas or the demigod worshippers. So that's what Krishna does. I mentioned in the middle 6 chapters, he establishes the superiority of Kevala Bhakti to all the forms of mixed devotion. And how Kevala Bhakti elevates the most fallen, that is 29 to 34. So this we have seen in the last class. Now, in the 10th chapter, what is happening? First of all, the glories of Bhakti were discussed in chapter 9. The destination gives eternal result, He'll come to the Lord, he'll give a destination. Possession doesn't need any fancy material assets, 9.26. Because ultimately, patram pushpam phalam toyam. This is what you can worship the Lord. But for doing yagyas, traividyamam, you need a lot of items. The qualification can be performed even those who are not pure-hearted. Yat karoshi yadashnashi. They practice a bhakti called as karma jnana pradhani bhuta bhakti. And then, if there is deviation, can redeem even the performer of sins, even if the performer is sinful, performs sins, occasional or incidental faults. If the performer sins, occasional or incidental faults, can redeem even them. That is a purifying potency of bhakti. And then, fifth is material qualification can uplift higher than what karma marg elevates those who are not even qualified for karma marg. So even those who are not qualified for karma marg, yepi paap ye hone, striyo vaishya those we saw those verses. So this is the glory of Bhakti Yoga. So in that sense, chapter 9 focuses more on the glories of Bhakti. Now, chapter 10 will focus on the glories of Bhagavan. It will give the more knowledge of the absolute truth by which one can develop Kevala Bhakti. So, in chapter 9, the glories of Bhakti was the emphasis. In chapter 10, the glories of Bhagavan. The more we understand the glories of Bhagavan, the more we'll practice Shuddha Bhakti, Kevala Bhakti. So, the glories of understanding Bhagavan will lead to Bhakti. And with that bhakti, one will more understand about Bhagavan, realize Bhagavan. So in that sense, they are symbiotic in nature. So I hope you understand what is symbiosis. Symbiosis, one leads to another. So the more we understand the glories of Bhagavan, the more we practice Kevala or Shuddha Bhakti. So in that sense, the 9th and 10th chapter are connected. Okay. So let's now just see a brief overview. Krishna says no one knows Krishna as he is the source of all. Krishna is the source of all, so no one knows him. So that he expresses in verses 1 to 7. And then what follows is the Chatur Shloki Gita. Krishna can be known only through bhakti by his grace. Hmm? Or his divine grace. That is the Acharya coming in the Guru Shish Parampara. And for us, it is his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It's only through Srila Prabhupada and through connecting to ISKCON we have come to know about anything about Bhakti and Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Although we are all born in India and we have heard about Rama and Krishna, but how he is Bhagavan, what are the glories of his transcendental activities, the Tattva Gyan was given only by, the great souls. So it's only by his grace. His grace refers to the Lord's grace, and the Lord's grace flows through the pure devotees. And then 12 to 18, Arjuna accepts Krishna's glories and desires to hear more. And how do we know Krishna? How to know Krishna? Through his vibhutis. So this chapter is titled as Vibhuti Yoga also in one sense. Vibhuti Yoga. Now we'll go to a little more detail of the Vibhuti Yoga once we come to that section. That time I will more discuss about this concept of Vibhuti Yoga, what it is. But let us come to that section and that time we will discuss. So now let's go to the first section then now. Okay. श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाभावो शृणु मे परमं वच यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया. The Lord said again, Bhuya. Bhuya eva Mahabhavo. Bhuya means again, O mighty armed one, Mahabhavo, hear my supreme teaching. Shunu me paramam vacha. So, what does Bhuya, again mean here? Let us see who will answer. What does Bhuya mean here again? Again means what? Again, hear my, supreme teachings. Shunume paramam vacha it is mentioned. So again means what? Where Krishna has means, if I tell, if I make you hear something and I tell you again here, that means I've spoken previously. So what is that previously, what Krishna has spoken, where it is, which verse it is referring to, or what it is referring to, which chapters it is referring to? Who will answer this? What does Bhuya refer to here? Again. What does Bhuya refer to here? Veer Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. So here again, Krishna is explaining the confidential nature of bhakti, basically.
Now that means when you say again, that means he has made you first here. So where he has made us,
Yes.
where he has made Arjuna here? That is my question.
He made to hear in chapter 7th and chapter 9th, and of course chapter 10, 8
Okay.
also, chapter 8 also.
So Bhuya here refers to Bhagavad Gita 7.1. That Shunu here told. So Tat Shunu means to hear. Now Bhuya eva Shunu me. Again here. So Krishna has been speaking about his Aishwarya Gyan. Right? Krishna has been speaking about his Aishwarya Gyan in the 7th chapter, in the 8th chapter. And more one hears Aishwarya Gyan. Now he gives in the 9th chapter the Gyan which will lead to what kind of bhakti? What type of bhakti?
It will lead to prove Madhuri Bhakti. Aishwarya Gyan will lead to Madhuri Bhakti.
Okay. So it leads to Kevala Bhakti.
Kevala Bhakti.
Kevala Bhakti. So he's been giving now again here. Now here what? About my Paramam Vacha, supreme teachings by which you will attain Kevala Bhakti. So basically here hearing the glories of Bhagavan, hear my glories, Bhagavan. So the more the glories of Bhagavan are, that will lead to Kevala Bhakti. So in that sense, I mentioned ninth and 10th chapter, that's how they are connected. I hope you are able to get this connection. I hope it is
Yes, yes.
clear. Okay. So, Shrunume Paramam Vacha, hear my supreme higher words, higher instructions. I will speak to you. Yatte aham vakshami. Yatte aham means I. Vaksha means I'll speak. You, you are qualified with prema. Priyamanaya. Hmm? Because you of your love for me. That's how Bhaktivinoda Thakur translates. Because you have love for me, then I will speak. Interestingly, I'm just giving a mundane example to make the point very clear. Sometimes a lover, who has love for the beloved, speaks confidential knowledge. Confidential knowledge about where all he has the wealth. And the beloved, so-called beloved, gets this information and then loots the lover. And this is how traps happen, you know. But here you cannot cheat Krishna. If you have true selfless love, then Krishna will reveal his glories by which we become near to him, by which we practice bhakti with. And because I desire to give you benefit, Hita Kamaya. Hita Kamaya means because I desire your welfare, I want to give you benefit. So very amazing, no? So the sweetness of Madhurya. Madhurya means, you should remember Madhurya is not Madhurya Ras here. The sweetness of Lord Krishna. The sweetness becomes more and more. So here I want to just now again bring to you 7.4, where we had discussed Aishwarya Gyan and Madhurya Gyan. So Aishwarya Gyan is 7 and 8, Madhurya is 9. Both together is 10 to 12. And we had explained also 9.15 is a critical verse which reveals the 10th and the 11th and the 12th chapter. So, Pratatvena, how the Lord's vibhutis are there, and the exhibition of those vibhutis in the 11th chapter, which is called as a Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. And Ekatvena is dealt in the 12th chapter. So, both together, Aishwarya Gyan and Madhurya Gyan together is 10 to 12. But here, specifically in the 10th chapter, it is more the glories of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is going to reveal his own glories. And it might seem that, if a person starts speaking as of his glories, what kind of a arrogant person, self, absorbed person he might be, you might think that the Lord is speaking. But here Krishna uses the word what? Hitakamaya. He says Hitakamaya. I'll speak for your own benefit, for your own welfare. Just like, I'm giving an example that, a young boy who has very severe complications in the heart because of some, birth issues. Now he's going to get operated by an expert surgeon who is an expert in heart surgery. And he's fearful what is going to happen to him. His parents are fearful. And then just before the operation, uh, just before the child goes to the operation theater, the parents meet and the doctor comes and assures him, I have done PhD in this field of heart surgery. And till now, I have operated 1 lakh operations and all have been successful. And I have got this reward, that reward. He starts speaking about his own glories. Now, speaking about his own glories by this doctor, will instill faith in the patient so that he can go through this phase successfully and operation can be successful and he need not fear and ultimately he'll survive. So similarly, Krishna, out of his love for Arjuna, because Arjuna has love, Krishna is speaking his own glories so that more and more, when Arjuna understands his glories, he can more practice Shuddha Bhakti and come nearer to him. So that is why it is called as Hitakamaya. Hitakamaya. Okay, let's go to Vishwanath Chandra Thakur's purport. Starting from the seventh chapter, after revealing his powers, Krishna spoke of bhakti. So, Shrunu, and Shrunu refers to seventh, eighth, ninth chapters, as Bir Krishna was also saying. I specifically pointed to 711 because there is Shrunu is there and Bhuya Eva Shrunu. Mahabhava is there. Krishna is addressing Arjuna as Mahabhava. But Shrunu is there. Krishna spoke. Now in the 10th chapter, he speaks the confidential elements of bhakti along with the description of his vibhutis. So here, the 10th chapter, Bhuya eva mahabhavo shunu me paramam vacha. So now he is speaking more about, the confidential elements of bhakti and along with the description of his vibhuti. So the vibhuti yoga will begin from 10.18 to 42. So the confidential elements is again 10.1 to 7 and more specifically 8 to 11. The Chatur Shloki Gita. And his knowledge, confidential knowledge, he is speaking from 1 to 7. By knowing the powers of the Lord, Aishwarya, one understands that the Lord is worthy of worship. The Lord is worthy of worship. These powers have been described starting from the 7th chapter. So the powers, Aishwarya Gyan, has been given from the 7 chapters. Now the Lord will explain the powers in detail for the pleasure of those who have devotion. So most important is why Krishna is specifically saying for the pleasure, Vishwanath Chakravarti, those who have devotion. The Lord will explain the powers in detail for the pleasure of those who have devotion. Why? Those who don't have devotion, what happens? Sri Lalita Mataji. If they more hear the glories of the Lord, those who don't have devotion or very less devotion, what happens to them?
They will not be able to comprehend Prabhu. They will
Comprehend.
they,
Any other thoughts?
like what Prabhu?
Any other thoughts? Anyone else have? Any other thoughts?
Thoughts?
Why those? It will be pleasure for those who have devotion. Yes, Tukaram Mishkin Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam. Those who have devotion, they will progress in spiritual, devotional service, Prabhu.
Yeah, that is true. But those who don't have devotion, why these, Krishna will hide these glories and he will not reveal these powers. What will happen?
They will remain ignorant.
If they hear the glories of the Lord, what will happen to them?
They will progress in spiritual path.
No. If they don't have devotion and they hear these glories of the Lord's powers,
Yeah.
what happens to them? They become what? Happy hearing it?
No.
What happens then? What is the emotion they experience? Have
I
you
am
gone on
unable.
book discussion anytime?
I am gone, Prabhu.
Yeah. So many times when we meet people, na, they ask, कृष्ण ने 16,000 रानियों के साथ शादी क्यों किया? They ask, na?
Yes.
Why they ask this question, Why
they
do they
they
ask this question?
they think in terms of material. This one, like we are.
But, uh, give me the emotion. What is the emotion?
Hmm,
They are envious of Krishna.
absolutely.
Why Krishna is enjoying 16,000 queens? Why I am not enjoying? So straight envy it is.
Hmm.
As Vinuta Mataji has written in the chat, please don't write anything in chat. Chat is meant only for, if this is not working audio. So if they hear more powers of the Lord and those who don't have devotion, you don't feel happy in the heart. Hare, why? He is powerful. I want to Ishwara Aham Bhogi. So that's why Krishna in the ninth chapter itself, in the first verse, Arjuna, I'll give you this Gyan and Vigyan. Gyan, Vigyan, Anusuyave, because you're free from envy. That was the Adhikar of
First,
Arjuna. That's why I'm going to explain this glory was. So this is the
uh,
criteria, not that, you are well learned. No, Krishna will reveal this knowledge if you're free from envy from him. Idam te guhyatamam pravakshami anusuyave. Because you're free from faults
envy.
or you're non-envious, you will not find fault with me. So that's why the Lord is now describing more in powers, because hearing more the powers of the Lord, the devotees who have devotion, they will relish it. Okay, so that's the understanding. According to the rule that the rishis speak indirectly and the Lord is fond of such indirect statements, and thus because this knowledge is somewhat difficult to comprehend, the Lord speaks again. Bhuya eva. And it is all so indirect, even in the Gita, the materialistic persons who have no devotion, they cannot really understand. No? The knowledge is given indirect. So that's why they cannot understand and comprehend it. And then the Lord likes parokshavad. Parokshavad rishaya paroksham cha mama priyam. The Vedic seers and mantras deal in esoteric terms, and I am also pleased by such confidential descriptions. So, like that, in the verses, there are, very confidential things given, and only the devotees will understand the confidential meanings. Outside people will take some external meaning and understand that this is the meaning of the verse. So that's why they are, because they don't have devotion to the Lord, the meanings are not revealed. Again, hear my words, Bhuya. This means, again, I will speak about the king of knowledge, the king of secrets. Raj Vidya, Raj Bhuyam. I am going to again speak. So, more the glories of Bhagavan are being pointed out. The glories of Bhakti were pointed out in the ninth chapter. Almighty Amdan, you display your supreme power of your arms. So here, Arjuna is addressed as Mahabhavo because he has mighty power. This power is greater than that of all others. In the same way, you should display the supreme power of your intelligence in this topic. Mahabhavo here refers to you should have now my mighty intelligence to understand this topic. Listen the words I speak. Shunume, and what kind of words? Paramam vacha. This implies that Arjun should limit his attention to what is spoken, though he's already listening. So listen carefully. When I say, then you should very more attentive. He's already attentive, more attentive. These words are even superior to what I have spoken previously. So Paramam here, Vacha is, I'm speaking, but Paramam qualifies this Vacha. And what is it? It is superior to what I have spoken previously, because that will lead to what? Kevala Bhakti. I speak these words to you in order to cause you astonishment. Now, this is something to do with Sanskrit. Use of dative case with the verb akshami indicates a suppressed infinitive of purposes. Some Sanskrit thing, they'll forget it. Tat te pravakshami. Use of te in the verb akshami indicates there is a hidden infinitive which should be understood. Thus, aham te vakshami instead of simply meaning I speak to you means I speak to you in order to amaze you, impress you, please you. I hope you are able to understand the bhava here. Aham te vakshami. Sometimes people speak about their own glories because that is coming from ahankar just to impress people. Have you observed this or no? Yes or no? And you can detect it. But here Krishna is not doing that, you know. So to reveal more his glories by which Arjuna is amazed and he is impressed so that he can practice more and also to please. So that's how tat aham te vakshami. The reason for speaking to Arjuna is given. What? I will speak to you because you are filled with prema, priyamanaya. You are filled with prema. That's why I'll speak. So you have love for me. Okay. Now he's going to start speaking. Now, any questions you have on the first verse and up till now? I can take it up now first before we go proceed ahead. Any questions, any clarifications? Very beautiful verse. This will come up again in connection with the 18th chapter. That time I will more discuss that time. Yes, Tukaram Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Sorry, I am asking you a very fundamental question. What is the meaning of vibhuti?
That we will come to tomorrow or day after. Hold on.
No problem, no problem.
Hold
Second
on.
Prabhuji, he is telling, I am explaining again. That means whatever he has spoken earlier is going to be repeated now? He is
No,
telling again,
no, he
again.
is going to give that same Aishwarya Gyan, more confidential Aishwarya Gyan.
I mean, he's elaborating the ones he explained earlier,
No,
right?
he is going to more go into the depth of that Aishwarya Gyan. I'm just
Right,
giving a simple example. You know,
right,
just like the father who has many sons, one of the son is very obedient, and he hands over the business. He knows where the money is kept, where jewelry is kept, everything. All the wealth, and he's the bank accounts he knows, and he's been regularly giving the son all this information while transacting the business. But later on he says, I will give you now more confidential knowledge. There are some secret fixed deposits, there's secret gold and jewels and diamonds in the inner chambers. So
understood.
that kind of knowledge, because you are very dear to me, because I love you, I'm going to give this knowledge. So similarly, Krishna is giving that paramam vacha bhuya mahabhavo paramam vacha, by which it will be hitakama. Hitakama means that the more devotion, more love for the Lord, so that the devotee can think more about the Lord.
Right.
And the more the devotee thinks of the Lord, the more the devotee will become dear to the Lord and attain the Lord. So in that sense, this Vibhuti Yoga chapter is going to be very, very important for devotees. And when I come to that section, the third section here, I will explain. And sometimes devotees, especially this chapter, uh, they don't emphasize a lot. And when the third section comes, now I will I will bring out that and how this is connected to second canto or the fifth canto also. I will come how so important it is for us to study this and understand to become Krishna conscious. So I'll bring out that more in detail when we come here. So till then, hold on. Okay.
Right.
Right. Any other questions anyone else has up till now? Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's try to finish some few verses. We are not in a hurry, but okay. So now Krishna starts speaking about the vibhutis, about his confidential. Name viduh suragana prabhavam na maharshaya aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. The devatas and the great rishis, suragana maharshaya. Suragana means the devatas. Sura and gana means the host of demigods in different divisions, because there are different divisions of demigods. Some demigods are in the heavenly planets, some are between the antariksh, the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, and some on the earthly realms also, like that, different levels. So all these are suraganas. do not know about my extraordinary birth. Name vidu prabhavam. For I am the source of the Devatas. Aham adiri denam, and great rishis, maharshinam sarvaksha. So now it is interesting that even the great Devatas do not understand Krishna's birth activities, Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam, which we had spoken. And how do we know that we understand the extraordinary birth and activities of the Lord? Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. How do we know how we have really understood? We can understand if we have really realized Janma Karma Cha Divyam to see whether we are free from Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Manmaya Mamapashita. Baho Jnana Tapasa Puta Mad Bhavam Agata. 4.10. If we have actually realized the birth and the activities of the Lord, then we are free from Raga, Bhaya, and Krodha. And all these different philosophies which are propagated. Manmaya Mamapashita, we are completely under the shelter of the Lord. And by this Jnana Tapasa, understanding this Jnana means not this Jnana of the Jnanis, the Bhakti Sambandhit Jnana, Puta, you are purified. So even the great Devatas and Rishis cannot understand the transcendental activities of the Lord's birth. And we should not think that we really understand. And how do we know that we have really understood? What is the symptom that we know we have really understood the birth and activities of the Lord? What is the symptom? Who will answer? See how much attentively we are hearing. I have already answered it, but I want to hear from you all. How do we know we have understood the birth and activities? Yes, Sri Lalita Mataji.
Who you just mentioned, no, you would be free from Bhita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha, all the vices.
Yes, we are free from Raga, Bhaya, and Krodha, Vitaraga. And we are completely, and we are purified.
Yeah.
And Mad Bhava Magata, we have attained Bhava, love for the Lord.
Yeah.
So that is the sign. So if we have fear, that means we have not taken shelter of Krishna. Just like the child, he is completely taken shelter of the parents. So he has no fear. He just walks near the well. He knows parents will come and pick him up. He's fearless in that sense. So by that symptom, we can understand. So the point here, what I want to make, Prabhupada makes writes in his commentary in the Upanishads that even the great devatas consider Vishnu as one of the Gunavatars. He is one of the demigods among the three Murtis, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. They are the Gunavatars. And ultimately, beyond this Vishnu is the impersonal Brahman, who is the source of all the three. So they also sometimes are bewildered, and that is why in the first verse of the Bhagavatam, Muyanti Suraya, Janmadhyasyato Anvayat, Itarascharteshu Abhigna Swarat, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave, Muyanti, Muyanti, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave Ante. Muyanti Yat Suraya. Even the great demigods are bewildered. And we see Brahma got bewildered, Brahma Leela. Indra got bewildered, in the Govardhan Leela. And he sent torrents of rain. He could not realize who is this Krishna. So we should not consider that we can understand so easily the Janma and Karma. So this is one reason. But Krishna is saying, because I am the source of the Devatas and the great Rishis. That is why they cannot know me. Now, how many of us are parents here? Raise your hands. How many of you are parents who are having children? Raise your hands. Okay. Govind Nandini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat.
How old are your children? How many children you have first?
2 daughters.
How old are they?
Elder one is 21 years and younger one is 17.
7, huh?
17, 1 7.
7? Oh,
1 7
they're quite,
17.
well, yeah, quite. So once it happened that I had gone with a very senior devotee for a visit to one home, and the parents, mother and father, were serving prasadam, and they had a small kid. And after the prasad was over, this senior leader, humorously pointed out their parents' marriage photo was there on the table. He told the child, "See, for your parents' marriage, they did not call you. Ask them why did they not call." And he was innocent; he could not realize that. So how can the child attend the marriage ceremony? Is it possible? Govindanandi Mataji.
No, no, no.
Why?
They are not there. They are not in existence.
Yeah, they are not born. So the marriage ceremony happened before their birth. So Krishna also, you know, he, he is existing before the Devata. The Devatas have taken birth later on. So because he is the source of the Devatas and the great rishis, Aham Adiri Devanam Maharshinam Sarsha. So that's why they cannot know him. And sometimes, after reading a little Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, we feel, we can know Krishna. We know Krishna. When Krishna is here saying, even the Devatas and the great rishis cannot know him. And then Brahma admits, in the after offering his prayers in the Brahma Levan, people might say that they might know Krishna, but as far as I understand, I don't know. So if Brahma is making the statement, how insignificant we are. Brahma's body is made of full intelligence. He is the topmost Brahmana in this universe. His body is very made of just completely intelligence. Whole body composition. Our body is 71%. With water and earth and all these elements. So his body is composed of almost completely the element of intelligence. So even they cannot understand. So that's why Krishna is revealing his Aishwarya. Yeah. Okay. My appearance can be known only by my unprecedented mercy and by no other means. So here Krishna is making it, Vishnu Chakatakur is making unprecedented mercy. The Devatas do not know my extraordinary birth from Devaki. So, Muyanti Mam tu Vedana Kashana. So, Prabhupada, in the Bhagavatam commentary, we all study that 10th canto, 2nd chapter. The Devatas go and offer prayers to the womb of Devaki. Yes or no? Everyone has heard about this, right? Everyone has heard about it. Yes or no? Raise your hands. The Devatas went and offered prayers to the womb. Here it is there. I am just showing you. Yes. Okay. Now let's, yeah, few are raising their hands. So here you can see here this chapter, prayers by the demigods for Lord Krishna in the womb. Have you heard about these prayers, right? Now, Muyanti at Surya means actually even the demigods are bewildered by Krishna. But Krishna was not in the womb of Devaki. But they offered prayers in the womb. Where was Krishna then? Tell us, let us see. Those who have read this chapter, they will have to answer. Where was Krishna? Yes. Sri Lalita Mataji.
Prabhu, I don't remember clearly, but heart of Vasudev?
He was in heart of Vasudeva.
I don't know, Prabhu. I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's true. But
Yeah.
they are offering prayers to the womb of Devaki.
Okay. He was
So
transferred from heart of Vasudev to womb of Devaki, no, Prabhu?
He was transformed from the heart of Vasudev to the heart of Devaki. So was present in the heart.
Heart of the. Okay.
But the Devatas were offering prayers indicating that he's in the
Womb.
what?
Womb.
Boom. Boom. So that's why Muyanti at Surya. We have to understand this. Okay.
Okay.
So my extraordinary birth from Devaki. Well, the Devatas may not know because they are absorbed in material pleasures. But the sages must know. Arjuna is asking this. No, they also don't know, do not know. Naha Maharshaya. The Lord explains the reason why they do not know. Because I am the cause of all of them. Aham Adri. In all ways, they do not know about my birth, just as the sons cannot know about the birth of the father. I gave the example of the marriage because that is more apt. One should not think of another meaning of the word Prabhavam because in verse 14, Arjuna says in confirmation of that meaning that neither the demons nor devatas know about the appearance, birth of the Lord. Nahi te Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devana Nidanam. Prabhavam means, here it refers to, birth, but Prabhavam can have any other meaning. So one should not take these other meanings. That's what Vishnu Thakur said. प्रभाव means power as well as birth. So one should प्रभाव, इसका प्रभाव बहुत ज्यादा है. प्रभाव means तेज, इनका तेज का प्रभाव है. We say sometimes, but here the word प्रभाव means birth now. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I am the original cause of the demigods and most rishis. Most rishis it is. Why most rishis? I don't know. And the rishis it is. Why it is mentioned? Most rishis, I don't know. And the rishis it is. And the most क्यों आ गया इधर? 1 second, let me see. And the rishis it is. Okay. That is why they can never understand the power of my pastimes on the strength of their own endeavors. That is, by the endeavors, they cannot understand the reality of my appearance in the material world in a human-like form. So, Krishna's pastimes are completely achintya and inconceivable. So we are fortunate to be in the touch of pure devotees and hear from them and little bit understand. Everyone, including the demigods and great saintly persons, search for me on the strength of their intelligence. Yet they can only partially realize me despite diligently endeavoring with their material intelligence. The aspect they can realize is Nirvishesh Brahma, the formless negation of the material world. It is unmanifested, unvariegated, and devoid of qualities. It is unmanifested. Anirdesh. It is Nirguna. They consider this dry and tasteless Nirvishit Brahma to be the absolute truth, but it is not. So I was mentioning how the Devatas also, understand that the absolute truth is Nirvishesh Brahma. Beyond Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, there is the impersonal Brahman, and that is the source of everything. They understand it. I am the supreme absolute and the very embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, Sachidananda. I always manifest myself through my Achinta Shakti, inconceivable potency. So, why it is difficult to understand Krishna's birth? Because the whole pastime happens because of the inconceivable potency of the Lord. I am completely devoid of any material contamination and I possess all transcendental qualities. My aparashakti, internal potency, manifests a partial aspect of my Sarup called Ishwar or Paramatma who dwells within all jivas. So there is a Brahman feature, Paramatma feature, and Bhagwan. So it's a partial aspect of his Sarupa. The impersonal Brahman is one of my indistinct forms beyond the conception of the conditioned souls who are deluded by my external potency. Therefore, only two of my manifestations, Ishvara or Paramatma and Brahman, are indicated directly and indirectly within created objects. Sometimes by my inconceivable potency, I manifest my Swarupa in this material world. At that time, the aforementioned demigods and greats who cannot understand the glory of my Achin Shakti on the strength of their own think that the appearance of my eternal transcendental form has manifested from the above mentioned Paramatma, and they consider me to be a mortal. Avyaktam Vyaktimapanna Manyante Mam Abuddhaya. This is because they are bewildered by Maya. Thinking the dry nature of my impersonal, undifferentiated feeling, Brahma Bhava, to be superior, they attempt to merge into it. So sometimes devotees, we are devotees, we are worshippers of the personal Lord. We might consider all these factors, but even devatas are bewildered. So we are so fortunate to get all this personal understanding because of the mercy of the pure devotees. My devotees, however, understand my inconceivable potency is beyond the grasp of the limited human comprehension, and they simply engage in my bhajan. Satatam kirtantu mam. Upon seeing their attitude, I become compassionate and bestow pure intelligence upon them, by which they can easily experience my Swarupa. So the Lord gives Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Okay. So, okay, time is up. I will just take this one verse and then we will end up this discussion. So then about his birth, Krishna speaks in this verse. Audio is poor. Huh? Somebody is saying audio is poor. Is the audio not clear for others also? I'm just unmuting you all. You can share. It's
Okay,
fine.
Guru, it's okay.
Somebody says maybe your internet connection might be not good. Please check at your side. I'm also, it's fine. Yeah. Okay, let's go to now the third verse. Yo mamajam nadim cha vettilokam asammudha samarteshu sarvapape pramuchyate. He who yah, without bewilderment, asammudha. So this is the result, first result of understanding about the Aishwarya Gyan of the Lord, which he has given in the previous verse. Vetti knows that I am unborn, Aja, since I have no beginning, Aja Anadim cha, and I am also born. I am unborn and born also. How the unborn can be born? That's why it's very contradictory. And knows that I am the Lord of all planets, Loka Maheshwaram, is freed from all sins in this world. Sa Marteshu Sarva Pape Pramuchate, and performs bhakti without impediments. Sarva Papa Pramuchati. And okay, this is why he performs bhakti without impediments. The reason is because it is Papa which obstructs us in our bhajan. But by understanding Isham to Antagatam Papam Jananam Punya Karmanam Te Dvanda Moha Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Dridhavrata. So Dridhavrata Bhajan will happen once they understand. So similarly, by this understanding of the Lord, what happens? Sarva pape pramuchate. So it's a path which deviates our consciousness away from Krishna. So when the path is not there because of this Gyan Agni, which is there in the heart, this is the Bhakti Gyan Agni, of course. Then what happens? One, what? Performs Bhakti without impediments. But certainly the Devatas and Rishis know about your birth in this body belonging to the Supreme Brahman, who is unlimited by all time and space. Placing his index finger on his chest, the Lord speaks this verse. He places his index finger on his chest. He who knows that I am without birth and I am beginningless is free from sin. Does not everyone know Brahma is not beginless, but that you, Paramatma, is called Aja, without birth, because of having no beginning. Ajam Anadim. The Jiva is also Aja in one sense, and is Anadi. Brahma is also like that. So what's so special? He who knows that I am unborn and also born to Vasudev and I am still without beginning is free from all sins. So Aja here is, Lord is Aja, but Ja, he takes birth as a son of Vasudev for Leela pastimes. And Although he is Aja is Ja, but still he is Anadim. That you have to understand. That person is freed from sins. Cha here signifies that he is also born. So here the word, you know, yo mam aja anadim cha. So cha refers to aja and ja also both. By the using the word mam, Krishna indicates his particular birth from Vasudev. Mam means his birth now from Vasudev, which is the pastime which is performing now. This refers back to the Lord's previous statement in chapter 4. He who knows my birth and activities is transcendental. Janma karma cha me divyam. I take birth, but because I am Paramatma, I am eternally without birth. But these conditions are absolute truth, a demonstration of the Achintya Shakti. The Lord has said, Ajopi san avyatma sambhavami. Though I am unborn, Aja api san avyatma. Although I'm Ajay, I appear in my spiritual body. Uddhav also says, you are without action, but you perform action. Karmani aniyasya. You are without birth, but you take birth. Bhava abhavasyate. You are a form of time, kalatmana, but you flee in the fear of enemies. Ata ari bhayat palaya palayanam. And take shelter of in a fort, Durgashraya. You're self-enjoying, swa-atma rate, but accepts household life with thousands of yet pramada ayut ashrama. Pramada means the wife, she's called. The intelligence of the wise men is bewildered by this. Khidyante dhiya vidam api. So that's how the intelligence gets bewildered. The Lord is without action, akartu, but he performs karma. The Lord is without birth, but he still takes birth. And the Lord is, Kal himself, but he is fearing and running out of Kalyona, chasing him. So that's how, bewildering is the Lord's pastimes. And then he is Atmaram, but still he accepts 16,108 wives and enjoying household wife, although he's Atmaram. The commentary of the Lagu Bhagavatamrit says, if contradiction is not a fact, tat tanna vastavam chet syat, then tada, those wise sages, Vidvam, would not have been bewildered. Na buddhi brahma syat. Thus the inconceivable energy, atyanteva shakti, is the cause of the pastimes of the Lord. Lila su karanam. Whatever the Lord desires, yata yata tasya cha, his inconceivable energy, sa, makes its appearance and act. Vyaknakti yata tata. Tata tata. Lagu Bhagavatamrit. So, it is all these activities are happening by the inconceivable Leela Shakti of the Lord. And that's why they cannot understand these. In my childhood, during Damodar Leela, it is inconceivable that I could be bound by the string of bells and not by the cords of Mother Yashoda. In the same way, my birth and non-birth are also inconceivable, achintya. The Lord speaks of his powers which are hard to understand. He who knows that though I am a chariot driver, I am also a great controller of all planets. So the Jiva also is Aja and Anadi. But the Jiva is not Vyakti Lok Maheshwara. Brahma is also Aja and Anadi in one sense. But Brahma is not the Vyakti Loka Maheshwara. Only Krishna, Bhoktaram Sarva Tapasam, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarva Lokaha Maheshwara. He alone is not bewildered among men. Asammuda is, and free from all sins. Sarva pape pramuchate, which is an obstacle to bhakti. So the sins are an obstacle to bhakti, and understanding this in Vyakti Tattvata, you become free from papa, and then you can practice your bhakti unimpeded. Now my question to all of you, if we are not able to practice flinching devotion or bhakti without obstacles, what does that indicate? Let us see who will answer. What does that indicate? Come on, very simple question. What does that indicate? If we are practicing bhakti and we are facing obstacles or we are not able to practice uninterrupted bhakti, what does that indicate? Yes, Tukaram Mishkin Prabhuji, yes.
Papa Prabhu?
Yes, the sins are there which are acting as obstacles, correct?
Right, Prabhu.
Now, how do we become free from the sins now then?
We have to endure for devotional service.
No, but what is Krishna giving the solution here in this verse? Who will answer?
I have lost that.
Yeah, very simple. You have to understand this BVT yoga given by Krishna. The more one attains knowledge about Krishna, the more one attains faith in Krishna, about his knowledge about his birth and his activities, the more one will become free, become from sin, and then he will be able to practice uninterrupted bhakti. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Okay. Now the last line of the purport. But he who, though accepting the Lord is unborn, without beginning, and is the controller of all beings, thinks that his being born is just a semblance of bhakti, is bewildered and is not free from sins. So that's what Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is making the point. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a very short commentary. He who understands that I am the supreme controller and beginless, Vyakti Loko Maheshwar and Anadim. In other words, he who understands by my mercy that my form is eternal, Satchidananda, attains liberation from all contamination, Sarva Papa Pati, meaning sinful thoughts arising from rascal material intelligence. So that's it. So the next section, 4, 5 and 6, 7, we will take up in the next class. So any questions, any clarification anyone else has up till now what we discussed? Yes, Sri Lalita Sumki Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I just wanted to ask, this Achintya Shakti, that inconceivable potency, is different from Haladini Shakti. It's not internal potency, no, Prabhuji?
It is internal potency, but internal potency has unlimited divisions.
Okay.
There are unlimited potencies within the internal potency, and it is given one heading called as the Antaranga Shakti. The Antaranga Shakti has unlimited divisions. There are three principles which we know, the Sandhini Shakti, the Samvit Shakti, and the Ladini Shakti, but there are unlimited varieties.
Okay.
Unlimited. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Fine. Any other questions anyone else has? Okay, so we stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.